I just finished reading Parable of the Sower, and I have a lot of thoughts, so let's talk about it. Overall, I really enjoyed this book. It was not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting more like Handmaid's Tale vibes, and you get more of Walking Dead, but you still have to go to work vibes. Like, in the book, her dad is a professor at a university, and he still has to go to university. Even though they are not able to travel outside of the walls without a group, they have to carry guns on them all the time. They're constantly at risk at being looted or killed or anything like that, but they still have to go to work. And I was like, what the heck? I also thought the idea of like the whole Earthseed religion was very interesting, especially how it centers around the idea of change being like the main thing that they not worship necessarily, but change is a representative of God in her religion. I think it's interesting that a lot of people have been recommending this book lately. It's good, but it's not quite as on the nose as I feel like some other dystopian books are, which is actually kind of a relief, because whenever I heard that it took place in 2025, I was a little nervous, because it was a little wild to me that a dystopian book that was written in the 90s is now our current time. And so I was glad that it wasn't quite as realistic as some other books seem. One of my favorite lines in the book is where Lauren talks about how every 3 to 4 decades the world goes crazy and you just have to figure out how to survive until it goes sane again. And I feel like that's very relatable. I feel like that's what we're living through right now. One thing about it though, and this is something that I've noticed with other Octavia E. Butler books, is that there's always an age gap romance. And that's just not my vibe. I just was like, ugh. But it wasn't horrible. Like, I wasn't shook about it as I was with some of her other books. But I didn't feel like it was necessary. But it's there, and it's not that bad. But yeah, I think this was a pretty good book. I rate it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'd recommend it to other people.